as more people come in, I'll add them in today. Today, we do have a guest speaker with us here. I'll start off by introducing myself. My name is Ashley Watkins, and I am a co-host along with Katherine for our weekly sessions that we do. It's good to see some familiar faces and to have you guys back. Glad to see that you're doing well. Thanks for being here with us today. So our topic today is generational wealth, and this is not my expertise or field, so I only have a few pointers here before I hand it over. Really, when we think about the component of like generational wealth and just financial literacy, I think those two kind of go hand in hand. And a lot of why we don't know about the component of how to accumulate wealth is the lack of literacy that we're taught, especially within our community, and just being able to recognize that these are difficult conversations and conversations that's not being had. And so a lot of things that we do kind of in life is trial and error. You know, we got to bump our head a few times before we get it right. But it takes people to really learn this and to become profounded and to have that expertise to be able to provide that knowledge for others in order for us to obtain the resources that we need to go further and to actually obtain wealth. And most importantly, when we get to that component of where we think we're secure, learning how to manage that, but then also continuing to grow. You know, God won't give us more than what we ask for and more than we can handle. And so recognizing that when we get to these different pillars in our lives, or we begin to obtain more wealth and money as we grow and get into careers or do different business avenues, sometimes the reason that we fail so much is because we don't know how to actually invest or to do things in where we can sustain more long term. You know, some of the conversations that we've been having is like that delayed gratification, but putting in the work that it takes in order to really maintain. And so I think that that plays a big role into why we aren't really in a space to maintain the kind of wealth that we would really like. It's that lack of knowledge and not really having that. So that's all that I have. And I'm going to pass this right on over.
Hello, everyone. So, as Ashley said, we have a special guest. So, I just want to say that I had the opportunity to hear Mr. Jasper Smith, aka Mr. Buildwealth, speak on the Close the Deal Network show, and I was so impressed. I'm like, oh my goodness! And I asked one question, and I gained so much knowledge just from that one question, and it was about securing a financial team. And immediately I applied what he taught me. And I was like, oh my God, I got to get him over here. I got to get eyes on him like immediately. So thank you so much for being here. Okay, so I'm going to let you guys know a little bit about Jasper. He has been involved in the financial services arena for over a decade, working on an array of capacities. Jasper held positions in Lincoln Financial Group, Bank of America, Merrill Lynch, Northwestern Mutual, Prudential, and a variety of nonprofit organizations that focus on promoting financial literacy to undeserved communities. He also holds his life insurance license along with various security licenses in the Certified Retirement Counselor. He is the founder of Financial Empowerment Initiative that is working to disrupt generational poverty that is called the hashtag Buildwealth movement. He's so passionate about promoting financial awareness to the nation's youth and undeserved communities. Jasper also donates countless of hours as a board member of the Urban Financial Services Coalition in San Francisco Bay Area. He has a he was a 4-year letterman in baseball and graduated summa cum laude from North Carolina Agricultural a technical state university with a bachelor's in business administration, and he is a native from Durham, North Carolina. So, Mr. Jasper, welcome, and go ahead and do your thing.
All right, so it's Durham, but it's all good. If you're not from the South or the Carolinas, it's all good. It's Durham,
Okay.
and but people joke and call it Durham, so it's all good. And thank you, Catherine, for having me sharing your platform, open it up. I know you attended the short half-hour session, and it's a lot to unpack when you're talking about disrupting generational poverty. And, Ashley mentioned generational wealth, but we can't create any wealth because we still thinking like we're poor. And that's the problem, right? And so until we really start to challenge the way we think about these things, nothing's gonna change. Like, you're gonna be poor, your family's gonna be poor, your kids, and so you have this cycle. And part of the work that I do with the Build Wealth movement is I'm gonna challenge you. And if you get offended or you get upset, just know that's an opportunity. Like, be mad at yourself, be mad at your friends, be mad at your family, be mad at all the people you say you care about, because they also too have some input in your life, right? We hang out with these people, we love them, but what are we talking about when we hang out? Is it about getting wealthy? Is it about running businesses? Is it about investing? Is it about generating more income? And so we have to think about this. We got to have this shift, and this shift has to be drastic. Like, it can't be just I want to be rich tomorrow. No. This is a lifelong journey that until you accept where you are currently, you can't move forward. So I honestly, when I talk to people, I'm like, just laugh at the dumb stuff you've done financially. Just laugh at yourself, because it's funny. The things we do, the things we've told people, the bad, it's just funny to keep like hearing the stories. You're like, I did that before. That sounds like me. And we have these stories where we can relate to the struggle. And I'm like, okay, how much longer are we gonna keep laughing at ourselves? Like, it's only a joke to us, because everybody else is like, why are they still doing that? So I want to challenge you to think and feel differently about money. That's it. Just think and feel different. You're gonna do something different, or you should do something different. So I was trying to figure out, like, how do I connect with this group? And honestly, Catherine, I'm just going to take y'all through the 15-minute plan that Catherine witnessed, because it's just, if you can answer these questions truthfully and honestly, then you can move forward. Everybody's got some hurdle, some roadblock, something that's holding us back. Like, we've all got it, but it's how do we get around it? How do we get through it? How do we get over it? I'll talk about the money team at the end, Catherine. But again, I wanted to take you all through this activity because I got tired of doing these sessions where I would talk for like an hour, have these presentations, and nobody was listening. They're just like, he's another brother who has a little bit of education in the financial services arena. He spent some time in this space, but I've heard this dog and pony show before. Like, I've heard it, I've seen it. We aren't acting. Like, I've been to so many workshops on financial, pick a topic, and I'm like, what happens to the people after they leave that session? Nothing. I got people I've reached out to, it was a decade ago. Literally, I have the dates in my file. And I was like, hey, you told me these things 10 years ago. Have you achieved any of them? And the answer is, most of the times, is no. So I was like, oh, so you just lied to me 10 years ago and you still in the same position? I don't think I'm the problem. So I want to take you all through an activity that I had to create out of necessity, because I kept getting the same excuses from everybody. It didn't matter where they were from, what they looked like, education background. It was, I'm always too busy. And so if you keep telling the person who's trying to help you, you're too busy, my follow-up question to that is, busy doing what? Making somebody else wealthy, putting somebody else's kids through school, paying somebody else's mortgage, funding somebody else's retirement, helping somebody else get that real estate property, helping somebody else learn how to invest. Like, tell me what you're busy doing, because I ain't seeing the results. All I'm hearing is, I'm too busy to holler at you, Jasper. Great. When I follow up, tell me where that busy work got you. Did it get you somewhere closer to that dream? Did it get you closer to retirement? Did it get it closer to, solidifying your legacy with your family? Like, tell me what you were busy doing. And as you all may or may not know, nobody gives me the courtesy of giving me that update. So that's what keeps me fired up, because I think people are, I'll be nice during this session, but I think people are full of, you know what? That's what I believe. I think we all BSing, right? I want to do this, but you ain't doing nothing. Hoping, wishing, and praying is not a strategy without the execution. Again, Catherine, you should have warned them. I don't know if you warned them, but like, I'm not the typical financial planner. Like, I'm not trying to sugarcoat it. No, you got to do some work. I want to help people out, but what are you willing to do before you even come to me? Are you willing to even try? Because if not, I'm not wasting my time with you. And I don't work with those people. You either want to do it or you don't. There's no gray area for me. People are poor, people are struggling, and then there's a whole nother world where they're not. And I'm trying to figure out, like, how are they not struggling? Who was brave enough or courageous enough to do something different? And when I get those stories, I'm like, oh, so what that says to me is that it's possible. It's possible. And I believe it's possible for all of us. It doesn't matter how old you are, how young you are, just make a decision to do something and watch what happens as a result of you changing the way you lead your life. And this ain't even about money. Like, this is just about life in general. I like to tell people, like, I'm a runner. So I didn't start off and run a marathon, which is 26.2 miles. I did 5K, whole bunch of those, 10K, half marathon, and then I did a full marathon. I've done multiple in all those realms, but you don't just wake up and do these things. There's a process. And when it comes to financial planning, there's always going to be something else you need to think about because you go through these different stages in life. So if you're married, you have a different set of scenarios or objectives. If you have children, another whole ballgame. If you're single, it's all about you. If you have a business, that's a whole different element. So you're going to need a lot depending on where you are in your life, but also as you continue to grow and flourish, who else do you need to invite into this party? Because the Mr. Buildwealth train is rolling, and I'm trying to get the right people on the train with me. If you didn't get your ticket in time, see you later. We out. All right. So people say they're too busy was the first reason I created this 15-minute plan. The second was I don't know why I need a plan. Look, everybody on here could plan a vacation with your eyes closed. You can tell me how you're going to get there, what clothes you're going to pack. You're going to put it in luggage, the mode of transportation. You can give me a laundry list of how fun this trip is going to be. Like, I know you have the ability to do it. So the same energy should be applied to your financial plan. Not as fun as the vacation, but I think it's fun having money. Anybody like being broke? If you do, please show your hands now. All right, we got one. Gregory raises his hands. And broke is just a mindset. And then you can elaborate a little more. And broke is also looking at your bank accounts and your statements and saying you don't have a lot of commas or, but most people, we don't dream about being in second. We don't dream about being poor. We don't dream about being unsuccessful. So again, why don't we put this time and energy into our financial plan?
Isn't it expensive being broke?
Yes, it is.
Okay, that's a joke being my mother had.
Yep.
It costs to be poor.
It does.
It's a cost to being poor. So
huge
very
cost.
much.
Huge cost. So and then the third, so we got people too busy, they don't have a plan, and then they don't think they need the help of an expert. So they would question, why do I need you, Jasper? I can do it myself. And again, prove it to me you can do it yourself. Prove it. We all got the same amount of time in the day. So if anybody wasn't aware, or even in the year, there are 8,760 hours in a year. 8,760. How much time did you give your financial plan last year? Hell, last month. How much time do you give it? Give it no time, I guarantee I can guesstimate about what your statements look like. If you give it no time, I know about where you are. Don't feel bad. Like, let that drive you. You should almost be getting upset with yourself and say, self, why am I acting a fool? I do. I'm like, bro, you tripping. So what do we have to do to change this? So this 15-minute plan is short and sweet, to the point. If you are stable and have something to write with, I would highly encourage you to follow along with me. It is a rapid fire type of deal. Every question that I ask is extremely intentional, because if you get, again, uncomfortable or a little squirmy, or your palms start getting sweaty, that just means you got an opportunity. That's all this means. So don't feel like you have, if you don't feel like you have it figured out, I don't either. I'm a work in progress just like y'all, but I've made enough proper decisions over a sustained period of time I just feel different, right? And so because I have the plan, and when life happens to me, I'm able to make the adjustments. All right, so it's activity, short and sweet. It's called the 15-minute plan, and it never takes 15 minutes. So if you want to try me and start the clock, just know I'll never take 15 minutes of your time, because if this is the only time I get you to focus on your financial plan, then y'all remember that 8,760? I did my part. I kept it short and sweet, and you still have all these hours left in your year to figure out your financial situation. All right, so if anybody wants to start the clock, I'm about to start in 3, 2, one. Question number one. What are your top 3 financial goals or concerns? Just the top 3. So top 3, what are your top 3 financial goals or concerns? Or a better way to say it is, what financial concerns or goals are keeping you up at night? I just want the top 3. Just want the top 3. All right, next up. Do you know what a balance, this is a 2-part for number 2. What do you know what a balance sheet is used for? Yes or no? And have you ever completed one? Yes or no? And I'll repeat that again. Do you know what a balance sheet is used for? Yes or no? And have you ever completed one? Yes or no? Next, budget. Do you do one, or do you not do one, or do you try to do one? You know you. Be honest with yourself. If you're trying and you keep failing at it, you still get a smiley face. If you have no clue and you're not trying, you get a sad face. But a budget is a very important tool. Questions around credit. So I'll say pre-pandemic, you're entitled by law to get a free credit report from all 3 of the credit bureaus. If you knew that was the law and you've at a minimum have checked your credit reports, all 3 of them, at least once a year, you get a smiley face. You can put a little smiley face down. If you didn't know that was the law and you have not been checking your free reports, you get a sad face. Don't say Credit Karma, because you only get 2 out of 3. So don't give me that. Don't give me the app. Don't give me the credit card that gives you the score. This is you checking your reports, and there are 3 of them. If you don't check those at least annually, that's a problem. Next question. So debt. Everybody seems to have a little bit. So this is I want you to just jot down about how much you owe in credit cards, student loans, if you have a car loan, if you have a mortgage, or if you have a personal loan. And so these are kind of the big 5 debts. Numbers don't have to be perfect here. Again, you know about how much you owe. That's all I want you to jot down. So credit cards, all in, how much do you owe? Student loans, car loan, mortgage, personal loan. If you got other debts that I did not mention out of that 5, write them down. Some of y'all might have gambling problems. That's okay. I got clients who do too. I just write down how much you owe your bookie. Just write it down. It's a debt. You owe the money. All right. So you just want to get comfortable with debt, just knowing about how much do you owe in all those categories. So again, that's credit cards, student loans, car loan, mortgage, personal loan. All right. So for this next one, I usually have a slide, but I can kind of say it verbally. I just want you to jot down all of your accounts that you have. I don't need dollar amounts. I don't need property values, business valuations, but write down accounts you have at a bank, at a credit union. If you got mattress money or cash on you at the house or in a safe, retirement accounts, investment accounts, just jot it all down. I want you to just do a quick dump of, I have an account at this bank, this credit union. I have a retirement account through the job. I have an outside retirement account on my own. I have an investment account where I do stocks or mutual funds or cryptocurrency, whatever you're into. I have real estate that I may be flipping, real estate that I'm buying and holding. Just jot down, what do you have? How many accounts do you have, and do you know where they are? Because some accounts should be for short-term goals, intermediate and long-term, and every account you have should have a job description. So if you don't know where your money's at, that's a problem. So this is just like you go on that vacation and realizing you ain't got no clean drawers. You ain't taking inventory yet. I hope you take clean underwear, unless you don't need underwear where you're going. I get that too. But, underwear, toothbrush, those are like essentials in my book when I go on vacation. But I need to know that before I start packing. So with your money, where are all of your accounts? Just jot them down. No dollar amounts needed, no value. Just where's your money? What do you have? You can go back later and kind of segment it into, these are like short-term accounts, intermediate, long-term. But for this one, I just want you to jot down all the accounts that you have. The retirement, investing, savings, checking, CDs, stock, just do a nice dump. Like, where is my money? Do I know where my money is? And all right, so I'll give us another moment here for you to kind of keep jotting those down. And there's no shade if you don't have a lot. That's not important. This plan is for you if you haven't realized. This is for you. Like even when I do this in person, I don't take up the piece of paper. This is your plan, right? I only get the little 15 minutes with you. So I got to maximize this time to get you to think like, hey, I need you to know where your money's at. All right. So next is it's a question around goals. And so there's 2 goals I want you to jot down. Like what's your monthly savings goal and what's your monthly investing goal? These are 2 separate things. Investing is different from saving. But what dollar amount or percentage do you commit to yourself every month? So is it, again, a percentage or dollar amount is personal preference, but do you commit to saving money every month and do you commit to investing some dollar amount or percentage every month? And you want to just jot those down. Dollar amount or percentage, I do X amount per month in savings. I do X amount per month by way of my investments. And for investments, if you have a retirement plan through a job, that does not count. That's already accounted for before you get your paycheck. So this is you on your own. What am I investing in every month? All right. Next question is around life insurance, and it's a 2-parter. So how much do you personally own, if you own any? And if your employer offers you any, that's the second part. How much do you have through the job? So life insurance, how much do you personally own? How much do you have at work? Next question is similar, disability income insurance. Same 2 questions. How much do I have on my own that I own personally? How much do I have through work if my employer provides it? So life insurance and disability, again, the same two-parters. How much do I personally have that I pay for? How much does my employer offer me if they offer me any? So the next one's around, college education planning. So if you have children, what accounts do you have earmarked for college? So on my activity, a lot of times I just kind of do a quick list of, do you have bank accounts, 529s, custodial accounts? Do you have real estate? Are there personal donors, which are, anybody who's not the parent? And life insurance is also another vehicle used for college education. So just jot down, if you have children, what do you have earmarked for your child's education or children's education? Okay. Last 2 questions. So this one is, well, it's a 2-parter. Do you do your own taxes? Yes or no? And the second part is, even if you say no, do you have a good tax person? So again, do you do your own taxes? Yes or no? Then the second part is, even if you say no, do you have a good tax person? And the final question is around estate planning. I think this is kind of like solidifies you trying to disrupt generational poverty. Have you ever met with an estate planning attorney to discuss your wills, trusts, etc.? Yes or no? And I always kind of ask, would you like to speak with one about your estate planning needs? Yes or no? And that's it. So if you were timing this activity, those are the questions. And that is a lot to hit you with in a short amount of time, but I don't think this.
Can you repeat number 3? I know you said something about a budget for number 3.
Yeah. Okay. So do you do one or not? That's the question, more or less. Yep. And even if you try to do a budget and you suck at it, that's fine too, because I've been there. Horrible. But I kept trying. So that means you still get a smiley face in my book. At least you trying. I was horrible at it. So that's the 15-minute plan, y'all. So what y'all think? Feedback, comments. I know it's a lot. Chris.
My feedback, honestly, is telling me I need to get my life on track.
I have a question.
Yes, go right ahead.
Yes, can you repeat 7? I think you had it a 2-part about the goals. Your monthly goal was for savings. Can you repeat that one?
Yes, ma'am. Yes. So it's a 2-parter, but you have to write down your monthly savings goal or commitment that you make to yourself, and then your monthly investing goal. Because saving and investing are, yes, ma'am, you got it. Yep.
Hey, Chris.
Yes.
Excellent presentation. Can anybody hear me?
Yep.
Hey, but the only thing I would say on the write down your accounts, also write down your passwords and accounts. Because in case something happens to you, if someone is not familiar with that, then they can access your data. What do you think about that, Chris? Did you hear me?
We can hear you. Yeah.
I'm just saying, a lot of times you have a number of accounts. And these days you have millions of passwords. But no one, your beneficiary or your children cannot access that. So I kind of keep everything in a box. I think it's excellent that you have. I keep everything on a spreadsheet, but your presentation is excellent.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you. And so, Gregory, I would say that kind of falls under like estate planning.
Estate planning.
Yeah, I tell people, like, I have multiple places where I keep my passwords, virtually, through the phone, in the cloud, on a jump drive. Yeah. You got to, like, the easy way to do estate planning, if you are in a relationship with somebody, have a shared Google Drive or whatever drive, like, just have your stuff. If you're not going to pay an attorney to do it, that's the best alternative, because that's that estate planning conversation, right? If I die today, who knows where my stuff is at? The beneficiaries, I always talk about that with retirement sessions, with life insurance. You got to know that and update those. And I think part of why I asked the questions, if you all didn't realize it, like, the balance sheet is
Willie trying to call me. Can you?
So if you all didn't notice, like, that inventory, when I was like, just list down all of your accounts, that's essentially your balance sheet. The balance sheet takes a snapshot of where you are at a moment in time. And when I first started doing this activity, people thought the balance sheet was a budget. And I was like, those are two separate things. The budget is about the expenses, the income and the expenses, right? Money we need to earn, but where's the money going when we earn it? Then the balance sheet just says, well, here's where I'm at today in terms of my assets and my liabilities. So how much do I own, my assets versus my liabilities, which is how much I owe. And most people kind of have way more liabilities than assets, because we tend to try to borrow our way to success by way of going to school, education. They've told us education was the gateway. Now I got clients with master's degrees and all this debt, and not a decent paying job to help them with said debt. So I started challenging people on what they want to pursue, and then let's figure out the alternative. So one of my really good friends is a social worker, and if you are a social worker, I appreciate the work that you do, but they never gonna pay y'all, just like teachers. I don't care where you go, they not gonna pay you for a minute. And so you going through all this schooling, and you gotta get your hours and the certifications, and you're like, so now I finally can make a few dollars, and I got a couple $100,000 in debt. I think it's it's a tough thing for me to swallow. Like, it's very challenging for me to see that society told us education was the gateway. No, I think learning is the gateway. Learn something, apply it, make a few dollars. School gonna be there. I don't care if you're 22 or 82, they'll still give you a piece of paper if you want to go to school. We gotta figure out how to earn more, because a lot of these issues we're having with our financial situations that we never earned enough. Your parents didn't earn enough. Now you don't earn enough. So what do you expect you're gonna do? They're not gonna earn enough. Mom and daddy never made it. So what gives me the ability to even believe it's possible? So I'll give y'all a fun fact. I didn't grow up poor. My parents did. Oh, I hate them stories. I'm glad I wasn't poor. So I was so afraid of ever being poor. So I was like, let me act right. Let me listen to my parents. And I was just in North Carolina like last week. My parents living the life of retirees with no care in the world. Got plenty of money, their health, and they play with my niece and my nephew, their grandbabies. My dad goes fishing. They wake up and have to figure out what the hell they're gonna do with their life. I want that life for all of you. When you wake up and like, what am I gonna do today? Whatever you want.
Hey, Chris, for most of your viewers, you talk about a free credit report. It's free in Michigan. Michigan, April is the month that you can get a free credit report. Every April from the federal government is free.
Gregory, I just want to mention that Chris is not the speaker, by the way. That's who you keep referring to.
Right.
Well, correct me then.
His name is Daryl?
Daryl?
Your Buildwealth.
Oh,
Buildwealth. I apologize.
I thought Chris came on before. Maybe there was another session.
you Buildwealth. I'm sorry. I apologize, sir.
I like to know what budget tool, because budgeting is weird to me.
Yeah. Look, I'll be honest with you.
Kryptonite.
Yep. Look, I'm gonna be honest with you. You got to find the one that works.
Yeah.
Everybody says they want an app. They don't use it. Pen and paper still works. They don't use it. Excel spreadsheets, they work. People don't use it. So it's got to fit with your personality. I sucked at budgeting. So I've tried everybody's budgeting strategy. It didn't work. The way our industry tells you to do it does not work for my brain. So I adopted the 50-20-30. It's a shortcut way to take care of the important stuff and not care about the unimportant stuff.
Okay.
So the 50-20-30 is, some people call it the 50-30-20, 50-20-30. I don't care which one you see. I've written an article about it. It's actually in my book because it helped me. I was like, I need simplicity. If I take care of the important stuff first, then you can go just live your life, no matter how much you earn. The problem is we focus so much on living that we forget about the important adult stuff we should be doing. So I had to figure out like what's gonna work for Jasper, like what's gonna work for me, because what they're telling me to do ain't working.
Right.
I'll be honest, like I was a financial advisor at 23, and I would tell people to do the budget worksheet that was in my little like fact finder book. I never did it. But I was like, before our meeting, can you go ahead and fill out the budget worksheet? And I'm sitting here like, boy, I'm so hypocritical, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And very few people will do it. My engineering, analytical type of people love it. They will fill that thing out like it's nobody's business. But that's how their brain works. That Jasper needs something that's simple that he can apply and actually see the progress and the results. And the 50-20-30 just set this precedent of, if I can segment out the real important stuff, everything else is not that important.
Okay.
That's how you get over budgeting. And for anybody else who's struggling with budgeting, here's an activity that will wake you up. So whether you use a debit card or credit card for your purchases, if you use cash, I hope you keep receipts. But if you are struggling with budgeting, because everybody says they feel like they live in check to check, and you feel that way because you never looked at your numbers. But check your statements for the past 3 months, whether it's a credit card or debit card. And what you do is you get a highlighter if you can print it out. You print out your statements from the previous 3 months. And with that highlighter, you go through it and you only highlight what was a want. That's it, just a want. If you didn't need it to survive and live in this world, I want you to highlight it. And what you'll find, bet money, I can find $100 on everybody's statements right now. I am just that damn good. Like, I know you blow money just like me on dumb shit. Excuse my French, but it is the reason we can't move forward and achieve all these goals is because we keep saying, well, I don't make enough. No, you just spending too much money on stuff that ain't helping you. That's it. That's the problem. Divert your spending somewhere else. Because to Catherine's point, I'm going to talk about how you build your money team. I don't work for free. Let me say it again. I hate working for free. You don't go to job for free. Nobody would go to work for free. Nobody, unless you just had wealth, like real wealth where you didn't need the money.
For Winfrey money.
Right. So we need to understand that, yes, I need to make investments. And that's the operative word here. I need to make investments in people who can help me. So if you got budgeting issues, you probably need a financial coach. They can do wonders. Everybody's got a strategy on how they're going to help you. Figure out which one's going to work and who's within your price range. But you can't think about it as, I can't afford nobody. You got to think about, I have to invest in somebody's expertise to help me. I do not do my own taxes. I pay my CPA. Excuse me. I invest in my CPA to keep me out of the watch of the IRS. Do not play with the IRS. That is a lose-lose scenario. If you think you're getting over, they will get you at some point. They have that kind of time. They got that forever kind of time. So I don't play with that. So I invest in a CPA. I'm not an estate planning attorney. So I invested in my homegirl who's an estate. I don't have a lot, y'all, but I wrote it down. If I die, here's what I want to have happen. Think about estate planning like this. If you love your family, you'll do it because it essentially is a love letter. And that's a long love letter with a whole bunch of stuff. But if you know anybody or you've experienced, I've never had to do it personally, but probate court is where a judge will decide what happens with your stuff. It's expensive. It is, it's very public in nature. And a lot of people do not leave their family any instructions. You're doing your family a disservice by not telling them. Again, you don't have to have a lot of stuff. Just think about if you die, who may want your clothes? I mean, you're thinking like, I don't have a house, I don't have a car, I don't have a business. What about your TV? Maybe somebody in your family, man, I want that big screen Ashley got, but if Ashley die, I hope I can get that TV. So I mean, families, they act real funny if you don't leave them some instructions. They're gonna fight over stuff. They're gonna be like, well, he promised me that car he'd always been like rehabbing out of his driveway. I mean, you wanna do these things because you care. You know, if you are a parent and you don't have enough life insurance, I question your love for your family, because term insurance is cheap.
Hey, Chris, you know, you kind of right. I have a trust. I have a nice big trust estate plan, and like you're saying, you know, most people got to check into that, because that just tells my family, all I'm doing basically is following my plan while I'm dead. And I'll tell people, you're right about that estate plan.
Yeah.
So I tell people all the time, you got to look at estate, and you got to look at a trust and a will.
Yeah. It's worth the investment. And Gregory, it's Jasper or Mr. Buildwealth.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I don't know who. I don't know who.
I'm gonna send you a check. I'm gonna send you a check tonight.
Look, I'm like,
Jasper, I'm gonna send you a check tonight. You will get a check. You call me. I'm gonna pay for that, Mister. I'm gonna invest in you. Call me.
It's all.
Hey, Jasper.
Yes, sir.
I can't show people this. I had a meeting tonight with a group of people. I have life insurance policies with my daughter. They all bill cash value. People don't understand the important. Life insurance is not only for death. Will you talk about that a little bit, about what life insurance is for folks?
Yep. It can be used for retirement, to help with your business. It can help with college planning. You know, it's one of those things that nobody told us. We did not get the memo. And with and this happens to all products on the market, the people who have the strongest opinions about them, you got to ask that question, like, why do you feel that way?
Okay.
There's certain products that make sense for everybody, but it's just, is that exact product they're showing you the right fit?
Okay.
So with any life insurance conversation, it should really be as simple as this. How much do you need? Then what type should I get? The problem with the business, and you're going to meet, everybody probably knows an insurance agent at some company. I won't say all the names, but all they come at you and say, buy this policy because I know you can afford it. They haven't even asked you how much you need. Do you have enough? You know, if you just have insurance to your job, I think that's okay. But if you're not staying at that job forever, you're playing with fire. You need to own some on your own. You know, disability, the reason I asked that is nobody understands disability insurance unless you've been on claim. Anybody you know who's been on disability, ask them about the process. You don't get your money right away. The benefit to your job is taxable. And so there are all these little nuances that, again, you should know this. Disability insurance is essentially your paycheck insurance. So if you're sick or injured and you cannot go to work, how do your bills get paid? And if you didn't have savings, well, I guess you're going to use that credit card. You're going to tap into those retirement accounts. You're going to do other things to figure it out. But we got to just look a little more deep into these solutions that the market provides, because this is what stops us from being great. Like when people get sick and can't go to work, your bills do not go down. So you're making 60% getting a disability check, but your bills are still at 100% of income. Like, how do you make up that 40% gap? We don't think about these small things. And I find this, even when I do these sessions around money, everybody always talks about retirement and investing and real estate. It's always the sexy topics that you see on TV. And then I'm like, so if you ain't working and ain't got no money, how you gonna fund all these dreams? And people be shutting me down like, oh, you just trying to sell insurance, you just trying to do this. I'm like, I'm trying to help you. You apparently believe that you never gonna get sick, that you never gonna get hurt, that you must have a crystal ball. And if so, please give me the lotto ticket number so I can win this money. Like, help me out. But we've got to stop playing around with this stuff. And again, whatever you cannot do on your own, you need to make the investments into your money team. And if you don't want to pay and you're like, I'm going to do it myself, well, just spend hours upon hours on YouTube. Whatever topic you're into, there's a video. There's somebody who looks like me, doesn't look like me, black, white, chocolate, yellow, green. There's somebody telling you how to do this thing, but are you gonna listen to them?
Hey, Chris, like I was talking to someone today and I was telling them, they're like, I've been in your industry for a while. There are three kind of components that really ruin you financially: a premature death, like you saying, a disability, or you have a major health expenditure. Will you talk about that?
Yes.
He said, what should call it, Jasper?
Yo,
Jasper?
yo,
The battle of the mind. That mind is stuck on Chris.
I know, I'm sorry.
Write it down.
I will
Write it
send this
down.
guy a check. I will send him a check.
Write it
I
down.
got it right here.
Wonderful.
hey,
Write it
you know
down.
what? You know what? I'm
And
gonna change.
Gregory, evidently you picking up my positive vibes in this
Yeah,
conversation, so that's a good thing.
Yeah,
I'm changing my name to Chris because Gregory. I'm just going.
This is a serious explanation for folks. I want you to.
Yeah.
Three
Go ahead,
things
go ahead.
will cause you financial ruin: a premature death.
Yep.
You talked about disability, and then you talked about health. Because with this COVID going on, you can act foolish if you get it and you don't have a proper insurance. Those health expenses will ruin you. Will you go over that with little people? I'm out of the industry now, but I want you to.
Yeah. So you cannot plan. You cannot plan for these unknowns.
Okay.
And these unknowns can happen at any point in your life. Some people have no issues until later in their life. Some people have issues out the gate. So depending on your lifestyle, you should just expect certain things to happen. I'll give you an example. My dad he'll be 71 in July.
Okay.
He plans to live to 85. He's like, there's not a brother in our family who's made it to 90. So why do I expect to live to 100? Let's just get real. He a black man in America. Hypertension gonna get you. Your wife gonna kill you. The cops gonna. I mean, y'all know where I'm going with it. Like, brothers don't make it. Brothers just don't make it. You know, we die early because the wife stresses out.
71.
Right. So and Gregory laughing because it's the truth. Like, brothers just don't make it. Like, I want to live in reality, and I want all of us to just get rid. Like, you see how funny this conversation is? Like, this is how money talk should be. Yes, we should laugh at the dumb stuff that we've done. We should laugh at the stereotypes that we tend to believe. But just know there's a whole different world that believes the exact opposite. And I'll watch these people who have killed it in life, and I'm like, how did you do it? And they're like, man, I had a plan. It's not gonna be the same exact path for everybody. So when I talk to my clients, I'm like, look, your plan has to be unique to you.
Sure.
That's it. It's not what I think. It's what do you want? What do you want to do? What do you want to have happen? And then let's figure out how we're going to execute. And it shouldn't take all day. Because if it takes all day, all you're telling me is that it's not that important. So if you got other important things, I got to respect that. And I'm going to go to the next person and say, well, how about you? Are you ready to do it today? Like, I love, even if people go to my website, like one of the questions on the contact us says, like, when do you want to reach out? When do you want to get cooking? And people put 2 weeks. I will email you in 2 weeks exactly and say, so did you lie to me when you filled out that contact form, or do you need more time? And no, people don't even respond. I'm like, I called you out. You went on there and clicked, you typed in all your information and said 2 weeks from now. Great. That means you ready to get cooking. Why are you lying to me? I have an option that says 1 year. It sounds funny, but I know people ain't ready to do this work. So you're willing to keep risking it. You're willing to keep, living this stressful life. Look, man, money makes a big difference in this world. Get your money up. I guarantee your health will improve. We're talking about health. Poor people can't get health care. I mean, y'all know I'm telling the truth. Poor people get the worst of it. It is very expensive.
It's expensive.
It's very expensive. When you poor, ain't nobody trying to holler at you. When you rich, hey man, when can we get you in, sir? You are a sir, ma'am, or madam when you got money. Yeah, I'm telling this, y'all. I mean, I'm telling y'all this. This is real life. Like, I think about fun fact. I've never had hair. So like, I had an afro and I just got my hair braided for the first time ever. I just revel in going out in public and they're like, I don't see a financial advisor. Because society told you I had to be clean cut, no beard, no mustache. Look, yes, I get that. But society's going to judge me no matter what I look like, no matter how I speak. I love a little slang and cussing a little bit, but I can speak proper and I get on the phone and, you sound white, great. If sounding white's going to get me paid, so be it. we laugh at these things, but we're so afraid of doing something different. And I'm like, give me the alternative. If being different didn't work out, how do you think billionaires are created? They're not normal. They don't think like normal people. Right. I don't know anybody who's independently wealthy who has worked a 9-to-5. If you ever find that person, please email me and say, Jasper, I found it. They work a 9-to-5, 40 hours a week or 60 hours, and they are independently wealthy. That person does not exist. If you want to make money in this world, start a business, get into real estate, become an investor. And you can do all of those and keep your 9-to-5, just so y'all know. Somebody say amen in this church.
Amen.
There we go.
Mr. Jasper, I am your younger brother. I might let you handle my wealth.
I'm right.
You are excellent. You are excellent. I generally don't do it, but you are saying all the right things, young man.
Thank you.
I haven't heard you say anything about debt management.
That ain't that hard. You better figure
more going out that's coming in, buying. You're talking about investments, whether it's personal or.
Here's the trick with debt.
But too many people get in too much debt, and then it's hard to invest when you got all this dumb debt, I call it.
So here's I'm a fan of, it's not either or for me when I do my planning with my clients. Once you've done that budget, which is why I ask, then I know what I got to work with. And so every situation is different. Now, some of y'all just got to stop spending reckless, but I can't help you with that. That's you. Ain't nothing I'm going to say that's going to stop you from those impulse purchases when it's late at night and you're watching TV like, boom, boom, boom. There's somebody right now who has Amazon Prime. I already know one of y'all got Amazon Prime because you can't live without 2-day or next day shipping. You don't have to tell me who you are. You don't have to tell me who you are.
For 30 days. That's what I have it as.
All right. So there's always one. I'm with you. I did it free. And if you don't check, you get charged immediately after that 30 days. But I got people who can't live without Prime. And I'm like, well, it's only $12 or whatever it costs, because clearly I don't have it. And I'm like, this is how billionaires are created. You can't live without something. And you're like, it's not a big deal. You got to
have it. Yeah.
It's like interest charges with credit cards. They're like, I mean, me having a balance, it's only like $1.25. I'm like, okay, multiply that times millions of people who think the same way you think. That's why every bank and credit union, they get bonuses. Trillions of dollars are made just on interest charges. Trillions. T-R-I-L, trillions. Banks and credit unions do a lot more lines of business. I got one that's paying us trillions. I don't need folks. I'm just going to tell people how not to pay me more money, and yet they still going to do it because we're human. Our behaviors is why we have debt, Melinda. There's no secret sauce. Pay it off. Figure out a strategy. Write them all down. Itemize them, which is most important. I can't tell you what to do, but I will make a recommendation. I got a client right now who never listened to me on paying off debt. And I'm like, what is wrong with you? That's all I would say. I mean, she does stuff, and I'm like, why are you not listening? Like, don't you think I have your best interest at heart? And I've known her for years. And every time I see her, I'm like, why did you pay off that first? She had a house, she had a car note and a mortgage, and then had $20,000 in credit card debt. She paid off the car, paid off the house, still to this day has the credit card debt. And every time we talk, I say, what the hell is wrong with you? Every time. I don't even start the meeting by saying hello. I know she's hiding the information. Well, you know, I ain't pay off the credit card yet. I'm like, you've had bonuses of $40,000. You've taken all these trips around the world and you still have credit card debt. She is a work in progress. And she's always I love her to death. That's my girl, yo. And she admits, Jasper, I just, sometimes I know life happens to you too. But it's been like, yes, sir.
You said real estate investments, how people become wealthy. Real estate investment. What's the third one?
It's an
you said real estate.
Real estate, being an investor, and then starting a business operating a business. Yeah. And if anybody, all right, I'm gonna give y'all another little gem. Real estate, you don't have to have good credit to own it. There are investments, securities, not the physical property ownership, which we're obsessed with. You can own real estate today by just having an investment account. I'm going to type something in the chat called a real estate investment trust. I'm going to let you go explore.
R-E-I-T.
A REIT. A REIT, yep. So I'm gonna let you go do your own exploration, REIT. Type it into Google. Go, just type it in and read up about, like, you could be an investor in real estate today, or excuse me, tomorrow when the market opens up. But society has told us, I gotta fix my credit. I gotta have good savings. Oh, I can't afford a house wherever state you live in. I'm like, you could own real estate, just not in the physical sense. I blow people's mind. I'm like, I've owned real estate since I was in my 20s, because a lot of times you have a real estate option through your retirement plan through your job. That real estate fund, that's real estate. It ain't a physical location, but Lord knows I'm probably not helping you out if you're a real estate agent, but my wifey is. But I'm like, wifey, like, yo, I gotta give people options. My job is to help you. So if you say you want to do real estate and you say, I got $100, I'll get you to something right now. How can you do that? Is it legal? Absolutely. Open up this account. I'm going to send you the ticker symbol. I want you to hit the button that says buy. And as soon as that transaction goes through, you can say, I'm a real estate owner.
Wow. Well, Jasper, I know real estate REITs that pay 1% a month. So a lot of people don't have to own the property. I own a lot of property, but I prefer REITs. They're a real estate investment trust that pay 1% a month interest. And he's 100% right.
He's exactly right, y'all. We're all looking for passive income, and a REIT is definitely one. They pay monthly, some pay quarterly.
Correct.
And again, some of y'all just like, I'm gonna work hard. Working hard is stupid, y'all. I'm telling y'all, work smart.
You gotta work smarter.
I'm telling y'all, look, we all got the same amount of time in a day. I don't have that kind of time, yo. I want to kick it. I want to hang out. I want to have fun. I want to go to happy. I want to do all the same stuff that you want to do. But at some point, I've got to make a commitment to carve out a little bit of time. And I do mean a little bit. Like, talking to your money team isn't something you do every day. I talk to my accountant quarterly, monthly, whenever I need them, an attorney when I need them. And I make the investment. I don't think twice about it. I'm like, I got to get this done. Like, disrupting generational poverty, I trademarked that in a month. You know why? Because I called my friend was like, I know an attorney, called her up. I'm about to pay you. Don't give me no discount. So that's another thing about our businesses. We always trying to get somebody to hook up, and they ain't hooking us up. They ain't hooking us up with nothing. I'm like, you ain't giving me no referrals. I done gave you the discount, and you ain't sending nobody else to me. You are a terrible customer. You are a horrible client. I gave you the hookup, and you still ain't trying to help Mr. Buildwealth. You know what? I'm sorry, I'm yelling, I'm getting upset, but this is about money. Look, keep giving everybody keep giving everybody a break. You're gonna end up broke. I don't care what your product or service is. Stop discounting. Yo, if I got a T-shirt, it's $30, bro. Hey, I'm not giving you for $29, $28. No, it's $30. Stop discounting your service. So if you have a business, charge what you're worth. If nobody's paying, find the people who will.
Right.
I up my prices every year on my consulting, and I'm always like, oh God, am I worth those thousands? Hell yeah, I'm hungry. I need to eat. My baby that's unborn, my baby when I have, they're gonna need new shoes.
Already.
They're gonna need diapers. So why are we playing?
Hey, Jeff.
Look, yes, sir.
I want to say to people on the panel, I have businesses I've been in. This budget concept he has is not only personal. If you have a business, you got to look at the budget. Just because I thought that was excellent when you said that number too. So I would encourage everybody to look at that budget. Not only personal, if you got a business, you're not going to make it without a budget. You're not going to make it without a plan. So
absolutely.
I would encourage you guys to really look at that. I've never thought about that. I'm learning a lot from you, young man.
Thank you, sir. So Catherine, I just realized we're at the top of the hour, and somebody just paid me for a call, so I'm gonna have to hop off because I gotta get this money. But as I'm logging off, if you want a free copy of my book, it's the e-copy. I put the instructions in the chat. Email me, let's work. I'll send you a link. If you don't redeem it quickly, just know somebody might get your copy. I appreciate you all. I thank you, Captain, for bringing Mr. Buildwealth in here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Jasper, not Chris.
I know I said a lot. I know it's heavy. It's a lot. Pick 1, 2, or maybe 3 things and just work on those. Forget the 20. I can focus on 1 or 2 and I'm Gucci, but I cannot do all 20. 2 or 3 things. If I can be of service to you, let me know. Thank you, Catherine. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Buildwealth, aka Chris, courtesy of Gregory. My name is Chris. But y'all have a good evening. I appreciate you.
All right. Take care. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Wow, great.
That's on point.
Hey, guys, we had a full show today.
Boy,
When this
that's
shit-
in divine order.
yes, it is.
Catherine, you great. Get these brothers out here, man. Get them on like you did.
They coming. But he is amazing. I met him through a networking group, the Close the Deal show, and I was so impressed with him. You know, so I just utilized what he said immediately when I absorbed the information.
Absolutely.
It was accurate. I'm feeling so secure now, and I'm like, I got to share him with everybody and work with him too. So. And I also, when I mentioned him before, I shared the people that wanted to network with him. I shared his information with you. It was like maybe like 6 people from our show. But I had looked up some definitions that I want to share with everybody, and I also have an affirmation of the day too. And then Ashley, if you want to add anything, but so I looked up the word break. I also looked up the word generation, and I looked up the word poverty, and then I put it all together. So breaking means to separate, or to cause separate into pieces as a result of strain, or to interrupt. It also, generation means all of the people born or living at about the same time collectively, or a production. Poverty means the state of being extremely poor, inferior in quality, and insufficient in amounts. So when I put that all together to just make one simple definition, it means to break generational curse means to apply pressure to the collective to release the conformed mindset of lack of quality. So we have to break generational curse. Everybody have a bloodline, and if nobody else gonna do it, we gonna have to apply pressure our way to make a way for our bloodline. If we can't make a way for those before us, we can definitely set an example for those that's coming. I wanted to share this affirmation. Give me 1 second. Right here, I'm gonna share my screen. 1 second. Right here. So the affirmation of the day is: everything I need is provided to me. All I have to do is recognize, pray, apply, and receive. Be the change you seek to experience. Allow God to use you positively to change the narrative in your bloodline.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. That's good.
We have to do it. We have to start today. I also want to share that there's a very extremely affordable celebrity credit repair guy that I know personally, and that I'm currently working with, and he is amazing. I'm going to share his Instagram in the chats really quickly. Let me go to my Instagram. I'm going to share it. Go ahead and check him out. He worked with so many celebrities. He is extremely affordable. And when you look at it like what Mr. Buildwealth was saying, you look at it like an investment, and you understand that it's actually what you pay today is actually going towards your goals. Everything is already in alignment. Give me 1 second. His name is James Hunt. His Instagram is who is James Hunt. Give me 1 second. I'm going to put it in the chat.
Okay.
It's also Credit Guru of Atlanta, because that's where he is. So I'm putting that in there too.
I'm so glad you went to the financial area, because this money thing, I'll be retiring soon. I'm evolving into my own businesses, and I'm looking for financial freedom, and having to exchange time for money is time consuming. And these building blocks that he laid out, I'm going to look at my stuff, and I can be honest, as a business owner, I am not good with budgeting. And I'm going to have to be. I'm going to have to take the time to knuckle down. I get out about it all the time. And even with getting chewed out about it, just this week, I was like, yeah, okay, blah, blah, blah. But it really doesn't make any sense not to have a clear picture of where all my money, what's going out, what's coming in. And like he said, we spend a lot of money on stuff that's frivolous that could be invested in. A lot of that want category can go into money that's going to make money. Make that money, make money. I want to make money while I'm asleep. So when I get up, I can spend my time helping people out and helping myself out, helping my community out. So it's on point. That's beautiful. I love it. Right on point.
Well, Catherine, I would like to tell you folks now, the last 5 or 6 years, if you were investing, you might have become a millionaire. This Bitcoin, I had a speech tonight. This Bitcoin, it's a new trend. Follow the trend. It's called digital money. We need to get our folks involved. This is the next internet. It doesn't take a lot, but you got to get away from your fear and you got to go take a leap of faith. And this time thing that Jasper talked about, when I speak, I told many people when I had these businesses, you got to make sure you have the time. When you have time, you got time to research, you got time to think. But I really encourage you folks, you got to start taking time to find these new trends. Oh, yeah. This is our culture has not participated in this. And it's still early. It's still early. Take an interest in it. I'm not preaching, but I'm just gonna give you a tidbit. It doesn't take a lot of money either. It doesn't take a lot of money. I can tell you a few things. It doesn't take a lot of money.
That suggestion that you have for the real estate, what is it called?
It's called a real estate investment trust.
That right there, I'm jumping on that. As soon as
I can give you one that I know pay 1% a month. They've been doing that over and over. You buy it, you put a stop loss, it trades like a stock. You can make sure on the end you don't lose your money.
Can you put text or would you want? You have it?
I don't have it in front of me. I don't have it in front of me.
I'll call you.
That's awesome. I'm interested in that as
well. Real estate investment trust. Okay. You own a personal. A lot of you, I'm gonna give you guys another tip that everybody own a business. Go get you, Catherine. I should just sell it. Get Aflac. The Aflac, you only have to have 3 employees. The employees can be your kids. You put Aflac. If you have an illness, you get a cancer, you get paid.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that back up, that disability insurance, because like you all say, and my job, it supplies it, but still, you get sick, that's 60% of your income. Where's that 40% coming from? So that's very important.
Like I said, 3 things: a disability, a premature death, or a hospital bill. I told these young folks, I had a big meeting with, you're going out acting crazy. You go get the COVID. Get the COVID. You might survive it, but if you go in the hospital, you're going to have a monumental hospital bill.
And they don't have insurance.
You're going to be in debt for the rest of your life. So you business owners, get your employees. I'm not telling you about Aflac, but look at it. It's pennies on the dollar. You get a hospital bill, Aflac gives you money. Mm-hmm. I just came to meet. I'm going to do it with my ex-wife and my daughter. I'm going to pay for it. It's pennies on the dollar.
It's a good investment. Now that's an investment.
I'm going to get a phone. I'm going to show you this, Catherine. Life insurance. I was going to send her something. I have policies that pay me cash value. I will send it to you tonight, Catherine. Okay. You will see that I have a policy here that I bought, $75. I have $80,000 of cash value. I can use that cash value to fund my education. I can use that cash value to do that. But get term. My daughter, buy your kids a permanent policy. My daughter, I put $100 in a month. She's got $10,000. When she died, then when she finished her medical, she do it. That life insurance, she can fund her retirement. He said the same thing.
I got one. Huh?
Go ahead. You have one?
Oh, no, you remember we talked yesterday on the phone and I was telling you that the gems that you dropped, like it was like, maybe you told me about this like 5 months ago when we was just talking. And I took, because I didn't know the difference of life insurance. I didn't know the difference of term, how it works and how it can be invested. I didn't know all of that. And thanks to you, I was able to like look further into it. I took everything that you said, I absorbed it. I did my own research and I was able to pick a policy perfectly for me and the kids for the long term. Like it's a permanent policy. And I am just for your knowledge because I'm like, oh yes, now I feel so.
Yeah, I'm gonna show you people. I'll let people see what I invest in. I'm not scared of you guys taking my money. I do it for one reason, because a lot of times people ain't seen $1 million of dollars in investment. Once they see it, you either learn by seeing, doing, or reading. I'll show you. But Katherine, can you guys see this policy? Can y'all see this?
No, you have to look it
Gotta
up.
hold it up a little.
Y'all see it now?
Yeah, we can.
Do you see the cash value on that policy? That's $60,000.
No.
You can't see it. But what it says is, this is $75,000. Your cash value is $60,468. I can borrow that money, okay? I can buy me a car. I can do that in my retirement, okay? You build up work. Once you start, Melinda, once you start learning how not to spend money in investment, it's going to change your mindset. I can guarantee that. The only reason you don't have money is because you don't know what to do with it.
My portfolio is slapping.
Okay.
However, I don't have financial freedom yet.
Well, you'll get there.
I know. I have to. I'm tired of exchanging time for dollars. I know. So that's why I said this is in divine order. I already have real estate and 401ks, and I got my stuff slapping. But I want to get it to where I got enough money where I don't have to work the way that I work now. So this is right on time to continuous improvement. You know, we haven't arrived yet. And even when we think we have arrived, we still haven't arrived. This is continuous improvement. This is on point. I love it.
Okay.
I love it.
I also have Jasper's book in the chat. It's a $12.99 investment.
I just bought the book.
Amazon, and you just met him personally, so you know there's some good stuff in the book. I started reading his book 2 days ago, so I'm all in.
Yeah, so because he said something about it being an ebook, I'd rather have the hard copy and invest in his book too, from what he shared with us.
The link for the book is in the chat.
Yep, I'm looking at it right now. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank y'all so much for being here. Like
Ashley had something. Ashley has the floor.
No, I actually have a real question. I'm being the student here. I'm done talking.
I know that's right.
We got 2 questions. Hold on. So as me being a newly getting ready to be a business owner and kind of stepping into this field, suggestions and advice, because I think one of the biggest things that I've been having in the back of my head, and Katherine, we just talked about this, is like I come across money and I get anxious and I feel it because I'm like, I don't want to manage this wrong. So when you talk about like the component of a budget, I'm definitely the person that's writing the budget down. I'm like critiquing it. You know, I'm taking those necessary steps. But getting ready to venture off into actually being a business owner, it makes me nervous because I do feel like, you know, I have to be able to manage my own finances before starting the business. So suggestions on that avenue.
Ashley, I think you did an excellent question. I tell people all the time, if you can't manage your own money, then you're gonna have problems when you go into business. Okay, I agree. The only suggestion I can make to you is this: it's just like I think Melinda said it. You just got a need and want thing. I'll tell you that. That's the only thing. Because in business, most of you folks in business, they go into business. They say, "Oh, people call me every day. I'm gonna make $10,000. No, that's not the right mindset. It takes time because you're gonna go through a business cycle. Just like nobody forecasted COVID. You have to have the proper. Nobody forecasted COVID. The money that you make, Ashley, in your business, you first start out, it's got to be called retained earning. Put the money back in the business, not in your pocket. You're the last person to get paid. After everything is covered, then you get paid. So what you got to do, the only thing I can tell you on the budget, put the money back in the business. Invest in better equipment, invest in things, the artificial intelligence. That's what I can tell you. But you are correct. Now, I agree with your honesty. You got to spend your money right. If you can't handle your own money, you will not make it. I'm not hurting your feelings. You will not make it.
No, that's real. Gregory, do you have any, so also another thing you and Jasper mentioned was the component of like actually learning. Do you have any suggestions in regards to like that avenue about books or things to do, or maybe I can just call you?
You can call me. But one thing I will not do, I know a lot of investments. I'm not going to get into what I do and how well I'm doing.
Right.
I would never tell you what to do. You got to take the action to learn, not Greg. Okay, you got to. I'll be your master. You be the apprentice. You ask me something, I send you on the journey. You come back, and we go to the next step. But if you're not willing to put the work in, you don't hear Greg talk. But you are right, folks. You got to learn. I talked about delayed gratification. You got to learn. And this Jasper was right. I wrote down all this note. I got 5 sheets of paper. This guy's talking. I don't care how old you are, how young you are.
That's what I'm saying.
Huh?
You ain't arrived. You have not arrived. It's going to always be continuous improvement in this arena.
Okay. And I look at Katherine. You remember people want me to start a think tank? You already started a think tank, Katherine.
Yep.
That's what you got, a think tank going here.
This page is banging. It's all evolving, and it just hitting on so many areas that I need to improve in, and I just feel blessed. But Ashley, as for you, find stuff that's in demand. You're gonna get a return on your investment, because if I'm like this with my money, if I'm not gonna get a return on it, I'm not putting money into something that I'm not going to get a return on.
Remember I told you, man, there's only 2 things I look at in building my wealth, my millions: return on investment, ROI, with my time, who I fool with, and OPM. I use OPM. My OPM is credit. Only thing I do with money, I'm gonna buy money. If I'm gonna borrow money, then I'm buying money that's gonna give me. I'm gonna take your money, but I'm gonna take your money. I went today and took $20,000-$30,000. I bought some Ethereum. I bought Enjoin coin. I bought it yesterday. I made double my money. Okay, I'm doing that. Don't buy money. Don't take money that's gonna create an expense. Buy money that's gonna create an asset.
Yes,
exactly.
0% interest, and that's where your credit score is good.
Well, Gregory, I totally agree with you, especially on that topic of cryptocurrency. It's like you say, it's trending. And you just said Ethereum. I know that one called. What did you say? Ethereum.
Ethereum. That's
yes. And then it's another one.
I bought Enjoin today. What happened today? Coinbase, which is what I trade. I told this group of people, had 100 people, had me on the call. Think you use your brain. Think. You remember the internet. Right? Without internet, you wouldn't have Google. Without the internet, you wouldn't have PayPal, right? So without these exchange, get rid of the word cryptocurrency. Think about digital. PayPal. Think about digital. So this is the forefront. You can go buy a coin out there now, $1,000. Don't worry about it. All I need is one hit. I bought this company, Enjoy. I put 10 grand yesterday. I already up to buy today.
Right.
I bought it at the right time.
I agree with you. That's how fast it's moving.
Don't get me wrong. I told you, folks, look, it's long term. I don't need the money.
Right.
Saving is different than investing. Investing, like I have all women here. You have children. You feed them. You make sure they got the proper nourishment. You make sure they got children. That's an investment. You long term. If what I know now, and you folks as young as I am, I'd have been a billionaire. I'd probably still be one anyway. Okay, but it's not the money with me. It's the fun. It's the brain power. It's not my pleasure comes from not sex. My pleasure comes from the mental attitude of seeing you be successful with the endorphins in your brain. That's what pleasure. That's the pleasure. You can have physical pleasure. That's over in 10 minutes, 15 minutes. But it's nothing like brain pleasure. You know how we all feeling so good? Because we're using our brains tonight.
Yeah.
That's why we feeling good. We use the mental power. Yeah. That's gonna go longer. When you get off the phone, you're gonna say, "Oh my God, that was good." What Jasper said. Maybe what Katherine said.
That felt good.
That endorphin gonna keep going. Yeah. You live off that all night. You might not even go to sleep tonight. Say, "Well,
make this money. Make some money." Where the money resides.
So why do we have to be any different? Because once you start making it, I was gonna write the book. The only reason you don't have money is because you don't know what to do with it. And I told you folks before, they don't teach you this stuff in school. No. Jasper and I told you stuff that I'm sharing. I'm not a hoarding guy. Now, I'm not worried about it because I know if I teach somebody, then I know it. So I'm willing to do it. And that's what Catherine's doing. So you folks, look at the writ. Google it. Don't believe what Jasper and I say. Ask the question, what is a writ? What is a writ? Why should I have a writ? What does a writ do? What are the tax advantages of writ? You don't have to own real estate, but you want to play in it. You know,
and I own real estate. I never heard of it.
Let me give an example of what a writ is. You ladies like to shop. Y'all went to outlet malls? You know, outlet malls, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
Yep.
So what'll happen is somebody get together and they might have 50 outlet malls in a RIT, real estate investment trust. Okay? You own part of that RIT. So you got to play in real estate. I don't own RITs because I got property. Another thing this guy said is real. It took me a while to do that. I have a team of people. I don't do my own real estate no more. Property. I have a guy who's better than I am management. So I got time now. I can do this. I used to go by the house, talk to the tenant, worry about throwing somebody. That's what he do. The man was right. Find your freaking team and pay them.
Delegate, yes. Absolutely.
Delegate it.
Absolutely.
You good at doing what you doing, Melinda. You do it, Ashley, Adrian. Y'all good at what you doing.
Yep.
You well waste time. If Gregory, Jasper tell you something, then don't do it. You research. Start Googling. Don't. You guys should want to RIT. Go tonight if you're interested and say I want to RIT. Then don't listen to us. Take one word. Action.
Right.
You ain't gonna get rich or wealthy without taking action. You can look at me. I can show you millions of dollars. It don't matter. I don't care. It's the fun. It ain't the money. It's just the goal and being able to do it. I don't want to do no courses. People ask me to do it because I don't want to do it because it's going to take away my time. You guys are fortunate that I can say this, and I don't mind telling you.
You want to have fun. If you're not having fun, don't do it then.
But it's fun. But it's fun. Making money is fun. You know that?
I agree.
You know how fun it is to make $1 million? Or you know how fun it is when we make $100,000 a day? Just let night. You know how fun it is? Hey, you know how fun? No,
beautiful.
I can show you stuff every day. It's no big deal. But one thing I told you guys, you gotta work on your health. Remember?
Yeah.
Because you gotta work on your spirituality, right? Yep. I mean, the way you think, your mindset. I told somebody they had a problem. Go read Corinthians 8-9. You want to get yourself together? Look at what love is. You go through that. It'll tell you patience. All you ladies know about it because you raise children. Refer back to that. That'll help. Yes. Then you ain't all mad and baked out. That's what love is. It's not a word. It's an action. Your health, and your emotional intelligence. And Catherine, I'm going to make Catherine talk about that. We need to start talking about emotional intelligence. We had it as Black folk. Getting angry.
Love language.
I like that. I'm going to get off that. I thought about today, Catherine. It's called emotional intelligence.
Yeah, he's right.
You're right.
It's all the same thing.
And then get physical. Get in shape. Watch what you eat. You think I got money that I want? I told somebody that I'm making all this investment money. What good is it me if I'm not healthy and enjoy it?
Your health is your wealth.
Your health is your wealth. Eat your wealth. Eat your vegetables. Watch what you eat. Don't get know what the difference is? Programming. A lot of you young folks, you go out, you party, you drink. You know why you do it? Because you were programmed to do it. You can't go out and make money, get drunk tonight and wake up in the morning and be able to think. Alcohol's a poison. I do it, but I know I'm stupid when I do it. Okay, but anyway.
Everything in moderation.
Church is over, Kathy. I'm tired of preaching.
Oh, wait, one last
Thank you.
Go ahead. You got it. Go ahead, Ash.
Thank you. Thank you, Gregory. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
For us who may be in our 20s, what would be a good life insurance company to kind of look into?
All of them are about the same. Okay. So here's the problem. Life insurance companies, every year they do what they call a procedure that says if the world came like New York Life, if something happened worse, they do I can't think of the term, but they determine how long they can survive. I'll find it out and give it to you. Most life insurance companies can survive 30 years even if the world collapses. But if I were you guys, here's my suggestion, strategy. You young, get you a whole life. The one I showed you is variable universal life. I choose the investments in this. You guys probably can't do this. Okay, not now. Get your life insurance. You're at your age, if you put $100 in life insurance and you did that to you 30 years, the cash value might be $200,000. When you borrow the money from the life insurance company, that is not, that's a transaction between you and life insurance. So if I borrow $50,000 from this policy, it's not a tax thing because it's between me and the insurance company. Life insurance is not only for death, it's for living. You think these rich people buy life insurance for death? That you don't have to pay. I borrowed this money, I don't pay no taxes on it. So when I die, my poor daughter gets this money, and the money I owe them, they write off. It's not about death. Your IRA, your 401k is nothing but life insurance. That's life insurance.
Right.
A smart business owner, well, you could get I could sell your policy when I had all these agencies, and I could say, we're gonna fund your business. That's gonna be your retirement. If I'd have done this, spent a ton of money, I'd probably had $500,000. I borrowed that. I don't pay no taxes. This is the point. I borrow this money. It's no taxes. Even
No
this is
interest.
no interest. It's free money. It's not taxes on. And I guarantee you folks another little tidbit. You got to take in consideration the word taxes. When I invest, I am not going to get it. When I invest, I usually invest for at least a year. That's called long-term capital gain. If I sell the stock tomorrow and I made $1 million, you know how much taxes I'm paying that? 115%. It's called portfolio money. Learn about taxes. Find a way. Don't like Donald Trump said. You can do the same Donald Trump did. Donald Trump wasn't lying. He didn't cheat. You just didn't know about it. So get you all you young folk. If you're gonna, especially you're gonna have a family. Get you a life insurance. Don't think about life. It's an investment. It's not going to get you the returns on stock, but I have life insurance, I have annuity, I have real estate, I have so many different things that I don't even know. And one thing Jasper said, excuse me again, one thing he said, jot it down. I'm going to die. I told my daughter, I got so much stuff going. I want to have it. So she don't know. So with this Bitcoin, the problem I have with that, I don't have a beneficiary. So something happened to me tomorrow. I told my doctor, here's my password. The money goes up and poof. Just like somebody called me yesterday. Somebody's dying. Should I get a will? I said, you got to have a will. Make sure that your uncle who's 82. Make sure that if you got older grandparents, make them put you on as you don't transfer on death, because if they die and they don't have the money goes away. You only have $15,000. Anything over $15,000 in cash, it goes to probate. So if they got all this money in the bank and they don't have no TOD, transfer on death, that's why. That's how we get ruined. We don't know these things. So grandma, and you look at her, oh, she living in Detroit, she got a house. BS. That house is valued. The one thing they didn't do, and the last thing I'm gonna say, one thing they did to us, and I'm not gonna play victim. They don't let us buy houses because you can buy property. That's a tangible asset that you can grow and you can send your kids to college and you got cash when you want. Now, say you own the house now, even in Detroit, whatever you're in the house now, the market value 80. You don't own it. You can't go out there and get a home equity loan at 2%. So we buy things that don't have like a car. That's good. We don't have tangible assets that you can buy. You got 10 houses in Detroit. I'm renting them, and now all of a sudden I can get 2% interest. I take that money and I invest that money in Bitcoin. I invest that money in Zoom. I invest that money in EV trend. I invest that money in chips, and I'm confident enough that I'll be made. Once you start making money, I can guarantee you ain't gonna waste. Anyway, that's enough preaching. Church over tonight, Catherine. I'm sorry, y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Y'all got me.
So Gregory, your number.